The Dodgers came into their last biggest series of the year with an interesting approach. What if we just don't score runs? I'm not a fan. Let's talk about it on All Dodgers. Hey, Dodger fans, coming at you live from my house in Utah, from Kevin's house in Illinois. What's up?
My house isn't your house? What?
I guess we live together now, Kevin. This is the All Dodgers podcast, part of the Bleav Network of podcasts, brought to you by FanDuel. And look, it's me and Kevin tonight, and we've already, we're a minute and 4 seconds into this. We've already shown up more than the Dodgers offense did today, Kevin.
Yeah, they just decided to leave their bats at home. Unfortunate against Nestor Cortes, who has been bad. Just to put it plainly, he's been bad. Not a good pitcher. So yeah, it was disheartening to see them, not do what they needed to do. And I know no one's gonna want to hear this, but the Dodgers pitching, by and large, did their job.
The starting pitching allowed a total. I mean, Tyler Glasnow, too many walks today, and the fact is, in this series, the walks came back to bite the Dodgers, both starting pitchers, and then Robleski later with the insurance runs tonight. But the fact is, Tyler Glasnow could have pitched really, really, really well, and the Dodgers still aren't going to win.
Matter.
It's the offense. Just in 2 games so far, the Dodgers have 2 runs, both on Alex Freeland solo home runs. And
exactly who you expected.
Yeah,
to
the guy with 0 career home runs coming into the series. Has hit 2 home runs. That is how the Dodgers have scored their 2 runs in this game. And this is, the Dodgers offense has been, if we're being charitable, it's been up and down the last almost 2 months. If we're being focusing less on charity and more on realism, it's been bad, with some good games mixed in here and there, but it's been pretty bad since early July. This might be the worst because, like you said, Darvish yesterday. Okay, Darvish hasn't been good this year, but he still has decent stuff. He's still, he's a good pitcher. He's had good success against the Dodgers. But all those reasons you could point to that, if you want to make excuses for doing this against Darvish, Nestor Cortes is just a bad pitcher. Nestor Cortes had a good year 35 years ago. Since then, he's been a bad pitcher. He's going to continue to be a bad pitcher. His next start, he's going to be a bad pitcher again. And that's the frustrating part of this one, that this happened against Nestor Cortes, with who just isn't good. His 88-mile-an-hour fastball, when he really reared back and threw it. And, he's a major league pitcher. I'm not saying he's, doesn't belong in the major leagues. He doesn't belong shutting down a team that hopes to win the World Series. That's for sure. Because he's not that pitcher. And it's, it was absolutely frustrating. And I think this is the low point for the Dodgers offense. And unfortunately, I have to say so far, because they did score 1 run in each game, which means technically it could get worse. I sure hope it doesn't.
No, and when Clint and I were on last night, we talked a lot about the bottom of the lineup because it was an atrocious bottom of the lineup. You had Michael Conforto, you had Buddy Kennedy, you had a lot of names that you would expect to see in June, not in late August, and definitely, hopefully, not in September. But tonight, it was the top of the lineup. I mean, they were 0 for, I believe, 15. They just just didn't show up. It wasn't even about producing runs. It was just they didn't put themselves in position to get a run. They didn't create any pressure on the starting pitching whatsoever, and that's what is concerning in tonight's game. Considering who was on the mound, it's guys, this is Nestor Cortes. Nestor Cortes is not a good major league pitcher. I know people believe he is, and they love his mustache and his Johnny Cueto-like ability to rock back and forth, but he's not a good major league pitcher. And yet the top of this lineup, which consisted of the usual suspects, Shohei, Mookie, Freddie, Will, just didn't muster a single hit off him, and that's
he doesn't even have the mustache anymore. Nestor just has nothing going for him. But tonight he had
nothing.
everything going for him.
I thought I saw a little bit of peach fuzz.
I mean, he had just like a 5 o'clock shadow all over. I don't think the mustache was any longer than the beard. It's just, he's just Nestor.
My take is just getting absolutely lambasted at this point because I mean, the whole thing was predicated on him having a mustache.
We got some super chats. Let's jump into them. Believe it or not, these aren't super optimistic and positive super chats, which is should be after a game like this. We got a $1.99 super chat from 300 GJW. Says walks kill. 4 of the walks scored tonight. Yeah, 4 of the 5 runs the Padres scored came on walks. I think but
also
6 or 7 guys tonight.
You know what else? You know what else kills is not scoring runs
for
general.
Sure. Yeah. But the walks. It's you can't losing is usually a team effort. And today the pitching, Tyler Glasnow only getting through 4 innings meant that Justin Robleski had to pitch 3 innings, and so he gave up runs in his 3rd inning of work.
Like Robo did okay.
Robo pitched well. But
every metric, he did fine.
Yeah, we might be discovering that he is a 2-inning reliever, and that's where we want him.
We love that though. We love a good 2-inning.
But
reliever.
2 walks came back to bite him late in the game too, and so we got a super chat from Bacon Tree, $5 super chat. Offense has no consistency. This is all swing and miss. Guess can't barrel up meatballs. Best of all, keep playing Buddy and Conforto. L deserved. Yeah, you know what? Clint's not here to say good players, living players. Neither of those apply to Buddy Kennedy at this point. He's going to be off the team as soon as Kike Hernandez comes back, which will be in the next couple days. I don't totally understand why I've got theories. I threw it out in the Discord today. I think Buddy Kennedy is continuing to play because he's going to be off the roster next week, and they want guys playing in the roles that they're going to be playing in October, which I understand. It doesn't make it any easier to swallow when you do have Alex Freeland on the and the fact is Alex Freeland doesn't hit nearly as well right-handed as he does left-handed. And so the fact that Alex Freeland hit a home run left-handed tonight isn't actually evidence that he should have started batting right-handed tonight. But he also is definitely not worse than Buddy Kennedy, which I think is most people's point. And I assume, and Dave Roberts hasn't said this because I don't think anybody's said, so Buddy Kennedy sucks. Why does he keep playing? They've probably danced around it, but haven't actually put it that way. I mean, to Dave Roberts. So, I assume if they did, the answer would be, if Alex Freeland is on this team in October, it's going to be to play against right-handed pitching, batting left-handed. We want him to keep his confidence up in that role. That's so, and just like same with Alex Call. It's both of these Alexes are going to play. Alex Call is going to play against left-handed pitching. Alex Freeland is going to play against right-handed pitching. If they have a role in October, that's going to be it. And so it's like, well, let's keep putting the guys who aren't going to be in the team in October in the other situations. But right now, where we're at in the season, and in this series, it's like, let's just, I get it. Alex Freeland doesn't hit as well right-handed. You don't want to mess with his confidence, but he's better than Buddy Kennedy. So let's stop.
Well, not only that, but you can still deliver the message of, hey, we expect you to be good against right-handed pitching, as you're a better left-handed batter. They can still deliver that message and still at the same time say, we're still going to give you at-bats against left-handed pitching because we have literally nothing else to lose. There are, Buddy Kennedy, and I posted this on Twitter, has literally no upside. There's not a single piece of upside that Buddy Kennedy has, whereas Alex Freeland can at least provide a little bit of glove. And hey, man, maybe he hits a single. Who knows? But you know what he doesn't know is what he doesn't know. He doesn't know if he can hit left-handed pitching if they don't give him chances. He's a rookie. I mean, give him the shot, because no matter what, is at least when he's batting from the right-handed side of the plate, even if he doesn't know what he's doing, it is the same, if not slightly better than whatever Buddy Kennedy can give you. It is. And he won't know until he knows.
Yeah. And the fact is, Nestor Cortes isn't one of them good lefties we've heard about. So maybe Alex Freeland can hit crappy lefties. The rest
Yeah,
of the team couldn't, but maybe Alex Freeland can.
My God.
$9.99 super chat from Francisco Diaz. He says the Fox commentary kept saying this isn't the team that the Dodgers will field in October. I'm tired of that excuse. They have what they have now, and if they don't stop this, they will lose the West.
It's not about the West, though.
Yeah,
it's not about oh my God, how many times have we have the Dodgers run away with the division, and then everybody said, well, I wish it was close because I want them to play something competitive, going into October. That it's the same narrative at this time of year. No, this isn't the team they're going to have. Yes, they will have a better team in literally 2 weeks, when Tommy Edman come back and Kike Hernandez come back, which we know, or who we know will come back. This isn't like everybody wanted this 2 years ago, literally 2 years ago. They're like, oh man, the Dodgers, they lost in the first round because they cakewalked themselves into the postseason. Well, for all those people that said that,
and I assume what people wanted, because I said that last week, and I was thinking about maybe what people wanted was for the Padres to win 103 games to push the 105 win Dodgers, but that's what we got in 2021. The Giants pushed the Dodgers all year, and then the Dodgers were out of gas and lost in the NLCS.
I blame Max Scherzer for that, and you can't convince me otherwise.
With a little bit of Jace Peterson, who destroyed Max Muncy's elbow the last day of the season.
Yeah,
they want to win the division. And I agree that playing Buddy Kennedy is not going to get the job done. But again, like you said, the good hitters didn't hit tonight either. This game wasn't lost because Buddy Kennedy was 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts.
Yes.
That was definitely part of it. But all the good hitters didn't hit either. And that's the bigger issue right here. Super chat from Laura Lara. She says, Padres best pitcher, Nick Pivetta tomorrow. No hitter incoming. Padres starting pitchers have combined in this series to allow 2 hits. A solo homer to Alex Freeland and a single to Miguel Rojas. That means that none of the Dodgers' good hitters have gotten hits off the starting pitchers. But baseball's dumb. Maybe the fact that they can't hit a bad pitcher named Nestor Cortes means they will hit a good pitcher named Nick Pivetta.
It's a joke at this point. It really is. How many times? I joke about this on social media and in Discord, which if you haven't join something at Real FRG is the link. There we go. If you like scanning QR codes, we got it.
Patreon.com/RealFRG.
There we go. Or you can be a YouTube member. But I joke about these things, but it's they're all jokes are funny when they're buried in a little bit of truth. Is the Dodgers, for whatever reason, suck against the soft-tossing lefties. And that's what they faced today, and they just weren't good.
Yeah, although they've done well against them. They should be better against them, especially ones who are bad. Like some soft-tossing lefties are actually good. The Dodgers have one in their rotation named Clayton Kershaw. But Nestor Cortes isn't good. The Dodgers should have scored.
Man's the GOAT.
Interestingly, we're going to jump to the FanDuel odds really quick. Make a mental note. It's just after 14 minutes, so I can mark that later. The Dodgers are still favored to win the NL West. Barely. The Dodgers are at -120. The Padres are at -115.
Ooh, so they're getting close.
This is as close as it has gone. This is right now at this moment. So after the Padres have already won this game tonight, I wouldn't be surprised though if by tomorrow morning, if the Padres are favored over the Dodgers, because the fact is the Padres are now in first place by a game. The Dodgers need to win tomorrow just to pull back into a tie for the division lead.
I like this comment from Dodger Suck, which, I appreciate Dodger Suck from, at least, proclaiming who they are initially without us having to, try to guess, what the fandom is. But they say, you two clowns glaze more than Kevin Rosenthal, despite the fact that we've literally been doing nothing but Shitting
Yeah.
on the Dodgers for the last,
Yeah.
whenever we went live. So,
So,
thanks, man. Appreciate the click.
yep. Something
Cool.
definitely sucks there. Yep.
Yep. Yeah, man.
So, I'm going to flip over to our other little footer down there because there's no such thing as a must-win game in August. I guess if you're literally on the verge of getting eliminated from playoff contention, then everything after that is a must-win. But for the Dodgers right now, Sunday isn't technically a must-win. If you've never seen Brian Regan's funny thing about must-win games, you should go watch it. But it's as close to a must-win as we're going to get when it's not technically a must-win, because the fact is right now the Dodgers are down by a game to the Padres. If they win tomorrow, they finish the season series with the Padres, tied for first place and holding the tiebreaker over the Padres. If they lose tomorrow, they're down by 2 games, which means their destiny is no longer in their own hands. They have to count on, if the Dodgers win tomorrow, then the Padres could win every game the rest of the year, and technically the Dodgers could still finish in first place because the Dodgers could win every game too. If the Dodgers lose tomorrow, the Dodgers have to count on other teams to beat the Padres. It's a little thing, but it's also a big thing. And so I guess let's jump into another super chat. We still got a few more that we haven't gotten to. This one comes from Grayson, $4.99. Injured and inconsistent, plain and simple. I'd like to believe they get hot when it matters. I'd like to believe that too. I hope that part of my concern is you mentioned we know Kike's coming back, we know Edman's coming back, we know Kim is going to be available to come back. We don't know for sure that Max Muncy's coming back, and Max Muncy is a big important part of this offense.
Yeah.
We absolutely hope and think he's coming back. I wish we were 100% sure Muncy was coming back, and 100% sure he was coming back in time to be, I had the same concern when he went down with the knee injury. You probably remember. I said, I worried that if Muncy was out for a prolonged period of time, would it take him a while to ramp back up? It didn't after the knee injury, but it might after the oblique, because with the knee, you can still do some things with the swinging, obviously not full swings, but whatever. The oblique, it's like, that is the key part of swinging. So I'm nervous about that. But I do think, I have to believe, along with Grayson, that a team with Tommy Edman and Kike Hernandez and Max Muncy is going to be better than a team with Buddy Kennedy and Michael Conforto and whoever else.
Yeah, I agree.
And Justin Dean,
I
guess.
I said this last year when Max went out. He has a very violent swing, and he just does. That's the nature of his bat path. It's how he generates power. And so he's always going to be susceptible to oblique injuries. However, that being said, according to Dave, he took swings off a tee, or he took dry swings recently. Can't remember which, but he said he felt no pain. I believe no matter what, if Max is even 80% healthy, that dude's a gamer. He's going to figure it out, and he's going to do basically what Freddie Freeman did last year. Obviously, I don't expect Max Muncy to win, World Series MVP.
He better.
But that'd be nice. I'd love that. But what I'm saying is I believe Max will fight through whatever's ailing him, so that he can be a part of this team moving forward, because that's just the dude he is. That's the commitment he has to this organization, and I believe that he can do that. Is tomorrow a must-win game? No. Sorry, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but even if the Dodgers lose tomorrow, there's still 30-plus games for them to win, and they're still a very unhealthy team. And for everybody who wants to believe, you have to be one of the top 2 teams or whatever, the Dodgers didn't lose this series because they went into Petco and fell apart. They lost the series because they're just injured and can't generate offense without the right guys in the lineup. When you lose very key and important pieces, this is kind of what ends up happening. And the pitching has been great. The pitching will have to carry them moving forward. So just kind of have to hope moving forward that they will figure it out, but they'll still make the dance. And that is literally all you need to do. We've seen it time and time again.
Yeah, if they get healthy, it's not as easy as just turning it on, but there's plenty of evidence that how you're playing in August doesn't really track much with how you play in October. My concern with what you're saying about Max Muncy, it's kind of the flip side of this comment that I'm going to put up on the screen from VTrack. Says, pathetic effort. Does anyone on the Dodgers care? I know that the Dodgers care. I know that the Dodgers wanted to get hits off Nestor Cortez tonight. They just didn't. And the flip side of that is, I don't think Max Muncy's desire and heart are going to be enough if his oblique doesn't heal, because he's not on the IL with a bad desire or a bad heart. He's on the IL with a bad oblique, and you can only do so much, and Freddie Freeman had the same heart and desire in the NLCS last year when he sucked. It was figuring out a swing that worked with the injury that allowed him to win the World Series MVP. And so that's my concern, because none of it is about heart and desire. None of this is a gutless team that choked or any of that. This is a team that has played really poorly in important games the last couple days, and not because they didn't want to play well, partly because they're hurt, partly because, there's all sorts of reasons why it happens, and it sucks. I just don't know. I wish heart was all it took, because that's easy to fix. I saw somebody in the Discord tonight say they need Tommy Lasorda to come flip over a table. Okay, flip over a table. Tommy Lasorda's teams finished under 500.
Well, if they need to flip over a table, just call me up. I'll flip over a table.
Yeah, I wish that's all it took, because if it was, then somebody would have done that already. But this is.
I like the people that are like, man, this team has no heart. This team has X, Y, and Z, but they won't recognize that, man, this is just baseball. It's a long season. This team literally just swept the Padres a week ago. And at home, and the Padres were a good team then, and they're a good team now. This is something that was definitely in the range of possibilities. Let's call a spade a spade. The Padres improved on offense, and they have done what they needed to do to be a competitive World Series, team. The Dodgers, at the same time, have done what they needed to do, on the pitching side. But yeah, the offense hasn't come through. But it doesn't matter if it's against the Padres or whoever. If you put a lineup that starts with Shohei Ohtani at the 1, Mookie Betts, Will Smith, Freddie Freeman, and Teoscar Hernandez as your top 5, guess who everyone is going to take 9 times out of 10? It's the Dodgers. They're a good team. It's just, it hasn't worked out right now. That's okay.
Yeah. And they need to play better. They are not the version that played tonight was not a good team. They are still a team with a lot of good players who need to play better, is what it boils down to. Super chat, $1.99 from Aaron Garcia. Says just win tomorrow and leave tied.
You don't leave tied tomorrow. If you win tomorrow, they're still ahead in the division because they hold the tiebreaker over the Padres.
Yeah, tied, but having the tiebreaker, so maybe semantics. Noah Martinez, $4.99 super chat, says, have a really disgusting feeling that Conforto will make the postseason roster as a starter. Dave keeps playing when there's no real reason to. I strongly disagree with that, Noah.
Yeah.
I understand why people think that. But the fact is, there aren't any other, like Alex Call is the other option right now, who doesn't hit righties nearly as well. And I know Alex Call definitely hits righties better than Michael Conforto hits righties. I get that. I think it goes back to keeping guys in the roles they're going to do. For whatever reason, we may never know why the Dodgers don't think Ryan Ward is a major league hitter. But they apparently don't. And so right now, but basically as soon as Kike and for sure wants Edmonds back, but they've already been playing Hae-Sung Kim in left field in AAA in his rehab stint, to play with some options. Michael Conforto, if Michael Conforto is in this as a starter in the postseason, it will be because the Dodgers have had new injuries and they're in bigger trouble than that. It won't be because Michael Conforto has to earn his playing time in October, and he definitely hasn't done that. So it's only going to be injuries.
Yeah, if you haven't, if people here need to hear it, go listen to Clint and Alana on Dodgers territory, talk to Dave, and Clint straight up asked him, like, what's the deal with Michael Conforto? Is he somebody that, like, more or less you trust or like you want to see in October? And Dave said, that's up to Michael. And at this point, like, since Dave said that, he is, like, Michael Conforto has done nothing to prove that he deserves a playoff roster spot. And there are guys coming back that 100% provide more value to this team than Michael Conforto. I mean, we already know what Max Muncy, Kike, Tommy Edman provide for this team, but you look at like Hae-Sung Kim, like maybe not as an everyday role, but at least on the base paths or defensively, like stuff that Michael Conforto can't do as a, because if Michael Conforto is not a starter, he has no place. He's not a bench bat. He's not a pinch runner. He's definitely not a defender in the late stages of the game. So it's
he's bad. And
not a lot of roles.
Yeah, we're not going to see him much longer. Cole in the chat. I'll get to the super chats more in a minute, but Cole says Ryan Ward has 30 homers. Someone needs to ask Dave why he hasn't been given a shot this year. Dave Roberts doesn't make roster decisions. Dave Roberts makes lineup decisions based on the roster that exists. That's some combination of Andrew Friedman and Brandon Gomes and, the Dodgers farm director, all those people. Who's that? Billy Gasparino, whoever, or he's the scouting director. I don't know who runs the farm system right now, but it's not a question for Dave Roberts, but it is a question that somebody I'm sure would love to get the answer to about why Ryan Ward hasn't gotten a chance. But we have seen plenty of guys hit well in AAA for Oklahoma City and then not hit well in the big leagues. And so maybe they just, for something about him, they think he's one of those. You got something to say, Kevin? You look like you got something to say.
Well, so I don't. Apparently, not an official friend of the show, but a unofficial friend of the show, Steven Nelson, just posted on Twitter, as discussed on radio, Kennedy shouldn't start over Freeland. Freeland is a hot switch hitter, admittedly worst as right-handed batter, but he takes walks and runs, and a big part of your future versus Kennedy, who may be gone in a few days. So who deserves / needs the big game experience? Forget handedness. That's like end quote. Sorry. End quote. That's a kind of a, I won't say scathing, but Steven Nelson isn't one to just say something like that out of nowhere. I think the frustration seems to be permeating a little bit over, hey man, why is Buddy Kennedy starting?
Yeah.
In general, or why aren't we giving Alex Freeland a little more run because he's got upside or whatever. So just I was surprised that that's a Dodgers employee said that. Just throw that out there.
That's the kind of thing that Steven usually texts me privately instead of putting publicly on Twitter. I've seen that side of Steven. It's just usually not on social media. So good for him. But again,
that's hot.
Buddy Kennedy could have homered every time up tonight, and the Dodgers would have lost 5-4. Actually, no, because one of the times Rojas was up, so it would have been 5-5. All right, Buddy Kennedy should have homered all 3 times up. But you get what I'm saying. Buddy Kennedy was definitely a part of the problem tonight, but the whole offense was the problem tonight. More super chats. Let's see. Another one from 300 GJW, 499 says, and we have the Hungry Reds coming in after this. It makes the wild card interesting. Yeah, Reds are hungry. Everybody's going to be hungry. Everybody who's still in contention, even the ones who aren't in contention, will be looking to play spoiler for the Dodgers. Dodgers are going to have their work cut out for them. They're going to have to play better for sure. Grayson again, $1.99 says, if Edman, Kim, Kike, and Muncy come back, who's DFA'd?
That's easy.
Nobody needs to be DFA'd. None of those guys are on the 60-day IL right now, so they don't need 40-man roster spots. But Buddy Kennedy, Michael Conforto, and Justin Dean are the 3 easy ones. And then, if Muncy comes back, then you make the hard decision. Is it Rojas or Freeland? Yep. And at that point, it's who's playing well, who's, who brings what to the table. Or Kim, or for that matter.
Or it's Kim. And for handedness purposes right now, it kind of feels like it's Freeland because he's better from the left-handed side of the plate. Muncy fills that role as well, obviously. And Miggy Rowe plays a great defense, and he's a little bit more versatile. So it's just, that's pure speculation.
Yeah.
Pure speculation. It very much depends on the order of things and just kind of where the roster is at that point. Because also a lot of that depends on how healthy is Tommy Edmonds' ankle. Like, can he play center field?
And Edmund has said that the reason they're slow playing it is so that he can be healthy enough to play center field when he comes back. And so that's the plan, which then bumps Pages to right, Teo to left, Conforto to HE double hell, and, wherever else. It's more super chats here. But yeah, the first three roster decisions are easy. It's the Muncie one that'll be harder. So MH Dodger for life, 1999 super chat.
1990.
You're my favorite, man.
Mate.
Hippo character flips around and does a V sign with his hands while the word victory appears in the background. All right, that has nothing to do with what we're talking about, but your 1999 is good here, MH Dodger for life. I don't know what that means, but send another $20 and explain what that means. And then if you do that, we'll probably play dumb and need another one too. But JY Kim, $5 super chat. Man, this applause is getting good. David Sampson said that even if this series is lost, this will not determine the ultimate number one in the division. There's still September. Cheer up. And yeah, the fact is, like we said, this isn't a must win tomorrow. We'd really like to win this tomorrow. But the fact is, if the Dodgers were up by 6 games right now, we'd probably expect them to finish the season up by 8 or 9 games after September. And so they just need to play like they're up by 6 games right now, play like the good team that could be up by 6 games, just pick up 2 or 3 games on the Padres over the last month, even if they do lose this, but yeah, they should really win on Sunday. That's what I've decided.
I mean, it absolutely, it would be very nice. It would make everything in the world a lot easier. But it's not in any way, shape, or form a must-win game. People have already talked about it. Even if they do win, even if they do clinch the West, they're already in line right now to play in the wild card series because the Phillies and the Brewers have the 2 top spots, not locked up, but they currently own those 2 spots in the National League. I don't know what 2021 Giants magic the Brewers found, but they found it. And the Phillies, Zach Wheeler-less, the tires fell off. But I don't know if they're going to maintain that spot, but as of right now, they hold the 2nd spot. So even if the Dodgers maintain the NL West lead, they're still going to play in the wild card series. So it's not about winning the division for this team. Who cares? Man, we've won so many of these divisions. All we care about is World Series championships. So,
and I guess that's a good time to pop up our last super chat so far. Another one from Francisco Diaz. Yes, I get it's not about the West, but do you trust this team in a short wild card series in Wrigley or Citizens Bank because they're 500 at best on the road? Yeah, I don't trust this team that played tonight in any series. The collection of players who will be on the Dodgers roster in October should be able to win a series on the road or at home, whatever. But yeah, they definitely playing that wild card series at home is part of the reason I want the Dodgers to win the division. There's plenty of, and I still think they've got a chance to take that 2nd seed and actually skip the wild card round. Speaking of nothing, Alex Renteria in the chat says, Jeff, you promised a division win by at least 5 games. I'm putting this up on the screen just so I can say, no, I didn't. I promise I have never promised anything like that. I may have said I expect the Dodgers to win by at least 5 games. And at this point, I wouldn't say I expect them to win it by 5 games. I still expect the Dodgers to win the division. But I promise you that I never promised the Dodgers are going to win division because that would be a dumb thing to promise. And I try not to promise dumb things. It's just my approach to promises.
Well, so I want to say with, people kind of talking poorly about this team, and it's interesting when you contrast it versus like other Dodgers teams in the past where, in 23, it was, oh yeah, they won by a million games or whatever, but is the pitching staff, the starting pitching, going to be able to get them through? Because it was like Lance Lynn, Emmett Sheehan, and Clayton Kershaw, whose shoulder was literally, falling apart like a well-cooked brisket. This time around, even if they hit the wild card series, this team might have the best starting rotation in the National League when it's all said and done. So you got to have you have to be able to say, before, the starting pitching was so bad they can't do it, or they can't win a World Series, versus now where it's starting pitching might be so good that it can carry this team 100%. So,
but the offense will have to show up more than they have the last couple days.
I mean, the offense had to show up in both cases. Like, no matter, like, even before, when they lost in 23, if the offense scored 20 runs, it didn't matter.
Yeah.
But it's just now they have to score a few less runs.
Sam in the chat says we have a loser mentality and we need to show more urgency. I don't buy the urgency thing from the players. I definitely don't think the urgency of a Dodgers podcast has any bearing on how the division will play out. So just keep that in mind. I doubt that. I bet no more than 40% of the team is even watching this right now. I don't think they care how urgent we are.
Okay. So, if our friends at FanDuel had to put an over under, let's say it's at 22.5%. Are you taking the over or the under?
Of what percentage of the current Dodgers team is watching this show right now? I'll probably take slightly under.
Not right now, or just in the future. Let's
slightly under. I'd put it closer to 0 than to 22.5. Evan G is in the chat. He was same guy under the name Doug Davis the other day, but spouting out the same dumb garbage about Dodgers throwing at Tatis. Congratulations to you, Evan, on learning how to spell a different name, I guess. I don't know. I'm glad you're here, because guess what? Your numbers count just the same for the stats, and that's all that really matters to me when it comes to you. The rest of you guys, I'm glad you're here as people, but Evan G, I'm just glad his numbers are here. I don't care about the rest of them. Michael Carrillo says that Blake Snell watches. If so, it's probably only because he heard that I always accidentally say Blake Smell, and he's just wanting to call me out on it.
If Blake Snell watches, he and I need to, link up. We can play some Call of Duty together, or maybe the next Battlefield, because that shit's hot. And I've always been a big Blake Snell fan, always. And I hated when he was on the Padres just because he was good. So, Michael Carrillo, if you know something that I don't know, have Blake Snell's people talk to my people. Let's hang out. We can have a great time. Time.
The Evan G is here as Doug Davis too now. Same comment. Yeah, copy and pasting is busy work for that wiener. So good for him. I do want to bring up our friends over at FanDuel one more time. Tomorrow's game, which we've established is not mathematically a must-win game for the Dodgers, but it's a game we definitely hope they win. Right now, the Padres are favored. First time this series that the Padres have been favored.
All right.
They're at -110. Okay. The Dodgers are at -106. So it's a very minor favoring. But you know what? Nick Pivetta against Yoshinobu Yamamoto should be
that's gonna be fun.
A good matchup. Dodgers starting pitching has done pretty well. If Yamamoto cannot walk guys, throw some ground balls.
So, we're hoping Yamamoto kind of just pulls out what was it? Was it late? Was it mid-August when we faced the Yankees last year? That like he went like 6 shutty against the Yankees.
It was in June, right before Yamamoto got hurt.
That's right. It was June before he went down with an injury. We need that Yama. And not because they need it in terms of being able to win, but I think the team needs it to just say, hey, yeah, you're not going to sweep us. We're gonna, we'll be here. Congratulations, you took the first two off us, but we're around. We're not going anywhere.
I'm not.
See you in October.
Yeah. So you know what? I don't know. There's much else to say about this game. These first 2 games of the series have been lousy. The way the Dodgers offense has failed to show up, they're not going to beat anybody like that. Yeah, it could mean they're due. I wish I believed in due. All these things that people say are things I don't believe in, like clutch and due and urgency and whatever else. I wish it meant they were due, but whatever. Hopefully, I'm more optimistic about the fact that they already got to Nick Pivetta once this year, so maybe there's something about Nick Pivetta that they can do. Sean Allen, Super Chat, $4.99, says gives Jake Cronenworth an Oscar for Best Actor in a Drama with that fake hand hit. Although the umpires didn't fall for it. New York didn't fall for it, so maybe he doesn't deserve the Oscar. Maybe it goes to Manny Machado for pretending that he didn't skip leg day.
It goes for La La Land or whoever Steve Harvey misquoted.
Was it Steve Harvey? It wasn't Steve Harvey, was it?
Yeah, okay. It was Steve Harvey.
Yeah. I don't watch the Oscars, but I remember hearing about
Neither do I. I just know I know that I know that small segment. That's all. Noah Martinez, $4.99. I wonder what the splits are with Freddie hitting cleanup rather than hitting top three. I guarantee you the splits do not matter for a Fredward Freeman. He just wants to hit.
Yeah, Freddie's not going to be affected by where in the lineup he's batting, but I will look. So this year, batting third is his best. He has a 908 OPS when he's batting third, 783 when he's batting fourth. But again, I don't think it's because of where he's batting.
I believe in his career, I actually think he's better batting cleanup with the Braves because he spent a lot of time in Atlanta batting cleanup, didn't he? Or am I misremembering?
So in his career, he's good in every spot. Second is actually his best, 940 OPS, 901 batting third, 849 batting fourth.
Okay, so he's slightly worse.
Actually, 27 plate appearances batting ninth. All of those as a pinch hitter. He has an 1140.
Oh man! All right, you heard it here first.
Freddie ninth. Bat Freddie ninth. I know he's better than Buddy Kennedy, who's been batting ninth. So you would definitely be better in the 9 spot if you did that. I don't know. There may be impacts on the rest of the lineup, but we'll see. All right, so Dodgers play the Padres tomorrow. The game is at 1 o'clock p.m., 1:08 p.m. Pacific time, or maybe 1:11. I can't tell which. Anyway, just after 1 o'clock Pacific. Dodgers need to win it to avoid being swept. They don't need to win it mathematically to win the division. They don't need to win it to have the tiebreaker over the Padres. But as Dodger fans, we really hope the Dodgers win this one. Alex has a good point. Dodgers did get to Pivetta, but they also got to Darvish last week. He made adjustments, and the Dodgers didn't.
Darvish owns the Dodgers.
Darvish. They only got to Darvish in the 1 inning. They hit 2 homers off him in the first inning. So
it's comical how good that guy is against this team. Well, part of it's because he throws 9 pitches and then he has 3 variations off each of his pitches. But no, don't compare anybody to Darvish against the Dodgers. The dude owns Los Angeles.
Yeah, and too bad he didn't, something. I see people saying Dodgers need to stop swinging for the fences, just make contact. Dodgers only struck out 7 times tonight. Striking out wasn't the problem tonight. It was the lazy pop-ups. They made contact tonight. It just wasn't good contact, and it is what it is. Teo strikes out too much these days. He needs to figure his crap out. But probably all of that.
You heard it here first.
Yeah. All right. I think that's it. There's going to be plenty to say. All 3 of us, Kevin and me and Clint, will all be together tomorrow evening. I don't think it's
it's a Klejevin show or Clevin.
Anyway, the 3 amigos. I don't think it's a post game.
It's the biggest, sexiest menage a trois this side of Dodgers fandom. All right,
you don't have to say that. That's worse than good players, living players. I think it'll be evening show, not a post game show. So post game after the game, but not right after the game. So we will be here talking about hopefully a Dodgers win, salvaging a game in the series, and making us feel better going into the Red Series. One way or another, though, we will be here to talk about it. Thank you all for being here. If you're watching this later, or even if you're watching this right now, huge crowd here. Throw some comments in the actual YouTube comment section in addition to the live chat. Just, it helps people find the show after the fact. And Even if you're a Padre fan here, you're welcome to throw a comment in the chat or in the comment section. Also, thanks for watching. Be sure to go to patreon.com/realfrg to join our Discord at the $5 a month level. Next Thursday, we'll be doing a members only live stream. We'll be talking about, whatever on the off day, talking Dodgers, but talking just, miscellaneous, whatever. So if you want to be a part of that, you got to join the Discord. So check that out. And with that said, I think that'll do it for us. So, Kevin, nice talking to you, and bye.